everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Nivedita Kauri, MBBS student at Makura Sammiloni Medical College, West Bengal. Today my topic of discussion is the structure of human circulatory system. In this video, I will describe the structure of human heart, blood vessels and a little bit about the dual circulation of human body. But these topics are quite large, but I will cover only that much which is needed for your NEET UG exam along with some extra age information. So let's get started. The human circulatory system is of closed type. Blood is pumped by the heart. Then it reaches to all the parts of body by a network of vessels, and then it again comes back to heart by vessels. So on its way, blood doesn't face any free cavity or free space. That's why the circulatory system of human body is said to be closed. The blood vascular system is made up of blood vessels and heart. Discussion of blood is already done. I have covered this in my first episode. You can watch that video. So I am starting with heart. Heart is a muscular pump which is located in the thoracic cavity in between two lungs, and the heart is slightly tilted towards the left side. It has got a protective covering, the pericardium. The pericardium has two layers, outer fibrous pericardium, this one, and inner serous pericardium. The serous pericardium again has two layers. The outer layer is the parietal layer. This is the outer parietal layer, and inner layer or the visceral layer. The visceral layer is fused with the epicardium of heart. And in between the parietal and visceral layer, there is a space, the pericardial cavity. The pericardial cavity is filled with pericardial fluid. Pericardial fluid helps in lubrication. It acts as a lubricant to allow the free movement of heart in the thoracic cavity. Okay. Our heart has four chambers. Two atria, right and left, and two ventricles, right and left. Different chambers of heart are separated from each other by some septa. The two atria are separated by interatrial septum, two ventricles are separated by interventricular septum, and the atrium and ventricle of the same side are also separated. They are separated by atrioventricular septum. Each atrium has one appendage named as the auricle. It is so named because it looks like the pinna or auricle of a dog. Coming to the different chambers of heart. First is the right atrium. Right atrium receives deoxygenated blood coming from the entire body. From the upper part of body, the deoxygenated blood comes via the superior vena cava. And from the lower part of body, it comes via the inferior vena cava. Now, heart is also an organ, so it requires its own blood supply, and the metabolic waste products produced by it is to be removed. So for this reason, heart has its own circulation, which is known as the coronary circulation, and the veins of coronary circulation also open in this right atrium. They open via coronary sinus. From the right atrium, the deoxygenated blood goes to the right ventricle via the right atrioventricular opening. Coming to the left atrium. Left atrium receives oxygenated blood which comes from the lungs. It receives the oxygenated blood by two pairs of pulmonary vein. So pulmonary veins are 4 in number. From the left atrium, the oxygenated blood goes to the left ventricle via the left atrioventricular opening. Coming to the ventricles, the right ventricle and the left ventricle. The muscular wall of the right ventricle is much thinner than the left one. Why? See, the pumping action of the right ventricle is responsible for pumping of blood in the pulmonary circulation, which is a shorter one, and the pumping action of the left ventricle delivers blood to the systemic circulation. Systemic circulation is larger than the pulmonary circulation. So, the contraction of the left ventricle is to be more powerful compared to that of the right ventricle. So, the left ventricle has got a much thicker muscular wall. From the right ventricle, blood goes to the pulmonary circulation via the pulmonary artery. It goes to the systemic circulation via the aorta. Now, what is this pulmonary circulation and the systemic circulation? I will be describing in some time. To ensure the unidirectional flow of blood through the heart, different openings of heart except the opening of superior vena cava are guarded by some valves. The opening of the inferior vena cava is guarded by Eustachian valve, and that of the coronary sinus is guarded by Thebesian valve. The right atrioventricular opening is guarded by a tricuspid valve. As its name suggests, it has 3 cusps or 3 flaps. Similarly, the left atrioventricular opening is guarded by a bicuspid valve or the mitral valve. So, it has only 2 cusps. The opening of the pulmonary artery and aorta in their respective ventricle is also guarded. They are guarded by semilunar valves. This is the aortic valve and this is the pulmonary valve. As I have said earlier that the opening of the superior vena cava is not guarded by any valve. Why? What do you think? See, blood is coming to the right atrium via the superior vena cava in the direction of gravity. Do you think that blood will go upwards against the direction of gravity? No, right? So, there is no need of a valve and there is no valve. During the forceful contraction of the right and left ventricle, the bicuspid and tricuspid valve can get collapsed into the respective atrium. But this is not desired. So, to prevent this, the ventricular surface of the cusp or flaps are attached with fibrous cord, the chordae tendineae. The chordae tendineae, as you can see here, these are the chordae tendineae. They are attached with the ventricular surface of the valves, and the other side or the other end of chordae tendineae are attached with papillary muscle of ventricle. Now, moving on to the blood vessels. We have 3 types of blood vessels: artery, vein and capillaries. The arteries carry oxygenated blood from heart to different parts of body, and the veins carry the deoxygenated blood from the entire body to the heart. The walls of arteries and veins have 3 layers: the tunica externa, tunica media and tunica intima. Tunica externa is the outermost layer. It is made up of fibrous tissue with collagen fibers. Tunica media is the middle layer. It has the smooth muscles along with some elastic fibers, and tunica intima is the innermost layer, which is made up of the squamous endothelial layer. As you can see here, the lumen of vein and lumen of artery are not same. The lumen of vein is wider than that of the artery because the smooth muscle layer in arteries is much more thicker. The smooth muscle layer of arteries is much more thicker than that of the veins. The capillaries are lined only by the endothelial layers. Our heart is myogenic. The heartbeat is generated by the modified cardiac muscle or heart muscle itself. The modified myocardial cells which can generate and conduct the electrical impulse without any external stimulus is known as the junctional tissue. The junctional tissue of human heart is made up of different structures. It consists of the SA node or the sinoatrial node, AV node or the atrioventricular node, the internodal tract, bundle of His and the Purkinje fibers. The SA node is situated at the right upper corner of right atrium and the AV node is situated at the lower left corner of the right atrium near the atrioventricular septum. And these two nodes, that means the SA node and AV node, are connected to each other by the internodal tract. They are connected by the internodal tract. Anterior, middle and posterior internodal tracts. Then from the AV node arise the bundle of His. The bundle of His then crosses the atrioventricular septum. It goes along the interventricular septum for some distance and then it divides into two branches, the right and left branches. The right and left branches of bundle of His then divide and subdivide to ultimately produce the Purkinje fibers. The Purkinje fibers have the highest conduction velocity among all the junctional tissues. The SA node contains P cells or the pacemaker cells. The P cells are auto-excitable. They generate impulse at a rate of 70 to 75 times per minute and our normal heart rate is 72 times per minute. So, the normal heart beats according to the SA node. But if SA node fails, will the heart stop beating? No, absolutely not. Then the heart will beat according to the AV node. And if AV node also fails, then the Purkinje fibers will help to cope with the situation. This is known as hierarchy of pacemaker. Let us know what is pulmonary circulation and what is systemic circulation. Deoxygenated blood from the right atrium goes to the right ventricle and then from the right ventricle it reaches the lungs via the pulmonary artery. Oxygenation occurs in lungs, then the oxygenated blood comes back to the left atrium via the pulmonary veins. This is the pulmonary circulation involving the heart and lungs. Then from the left atrium, the oxygenated blood goes to the left ventricle and then from left ventricle, the oxygenated blood reaches each and every part of our body via arteries and arterioles. Gaseous exchange takes place at the tissue level via the capillaries and then the deoxygenated blood again comes back to the right atrium by venules, veins and ultimately superior vena cava, inferior vena cava and coronary sinus. This is the systemic circulation. A special circulation exists between the gastrointestinal tract and the liver, which is known as the hepatic portal system. Here blood goes from the intestine to the liver by hepatic portal vein, and from there it again comes back to the systemic circulation. This is all for today. If you found my video helpful, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Press the bell icon to get notified about new videos. Thank you.